Let's try and limit this preview to 32 ads, shall we? I'm with you, man. You can't even scroll ahead to skip my stupid commentary to see predictions without seeing at least 14 commercials for car insurance or tacos or whatever Pete Davidson is selling this week. Giants at home this week, 2-win team on a 7-game losing streak, facing the Washington Commanders, a 3-win team on an 8-game skid.
Quick strike, Hawkinson stays on his feet, touchdown. That might be an early fourth quarter dagger.
Both these teams are contenders for the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft. Commanders crawl in off their worst loss of the year, and that says something. They couldn't even score a point versus a scuffling Minnesota squad, lost Jaden Daniels to injury again, finished with Marcus Mariota again, the two guys each throwing a pick for an offense that couldn't score a point on a defense, giving up 23 a game at the time.
This Minnesota defense has imposed its will in this contest.
Washington's O-face very Lumberg looking lately, less than 23 points, 6 of their last 7 games, against a defense that's given up 24 plus points in their last 7 straight games, giving up 28 per contest, South Pole kind of stuff.
Here's one downfield and caught, touchdown.
Their biggest weakness, they haven't been able to stop runners, no team giving up more yards per carry at 5.8.
Into the secondary, 26-yard carry.
Yeah, and he's had some lanes tonight.
Washington's Chris Rodriguez ran for over 5 a carry versus Minnesota. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt hit at 4.6 a run, and it meant nothing. They're not really a pound the rock group, not really a toss the pigskin around the type either, when you only throw for 108 yards, which is all they mustered versus the Vikings. Terry McLaurin only 41 yards, and that led the team. Sets up another Brooklyn brawler versus Iron Mike Sharp matchup. New York secondary giving up a 98 rating, only have 5 INTs, giving up over 230 passing yards a game.
Off the back foot, he launches it downfield, and it's caught.
Giants pass rush, middle of the pack, but 13 of the 29 sacks they've accrued have come at the hands of Brian Burns, who has 13. He found his way to Jaden Daniels twice back in week 1, too.
Going to run, grabbed by Burns, and he's going to get wrestled down.
Burns' pace has slowed lately. No sacks 3 of his last 4 games. Getting dropped behind the line of scrimmage hasn't been a major problem for Jackson Dart. Came back from his concussion right before the break, showed he has no plans to change how he plays. He's Johnny Lawrence. Come get it. Averaging 33 rush yards per game, has touched it down 7 times down low.
Dart inside the 10, Dart to the 5, Dart's in for the touchdown!
Dart and Burns, the two guys that make their games worth watching still. Dart with 11 touchdowns, 3 INTs, respectable 94 rating.
Goes deep again, caught for the touchdown. 24 yards and a dart.
Hey, if you want to throw Jameis out there, that's pretty entertaining too. He's must-see TV, even if he was on a curling team eating frozen W's. But his and Dart's play, sans Scadaboo and Neighbors, makes their 21 point per game average in 2025 semi-impressive.
Dart, design run, up the middle he goes, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Giants! Jackson Dart!
Washington's DBs that they get next just show they get weak in the knees when they face some frosted tips. Gave up 3 touchdowns and a career-high 129 rate to J.J. McCarthy, 31 points allowed to a Minnesota offense that was shut out the week before.
McCarthy down the seam, and what a drive for J.J.
Only 163 yards allowed to McCarthy, held Justin Jefferson to 12 yards on 4 targets. Main guy they have to chase this week, Wan'Dale Robinson, making his way to a 1,000-yard year, over 70 receptions, 828 yards, so he's got plenty of incentive to show out.
He finds an open man, and Robinson stays in bounds. Robinson's going to go all the way.
Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton, Dart's other 2 wideout options, and his enforcer, Theo Johnson, tight end, leads the team with 5 TDs.
And he'll gun a pass, caught on the ricochet. It's grabbed here by the galloping Johnson.
On handoffs, Tyrone Tracy, only 3.8 a run for the year, but he could do a little something this week. Washington gave up 76 yards on 5.4 a carry to Aaron Jones, 52 yards on 4.7 per to Jordan Mason plus a TD.
Curls for the block, and Mason goes the other way. Misdirection touchdown.
For the record, and I know this is probably adding 2 more ads to the count, all the way back in Week 1, Washington beat Russell Wilson's Giants 21-6. Daniels led the charge with 233 passing yards, 1 TD, 68 rush yards. That game mattered as much as the novel Brian Griffin put out.
Back to throw, fires it left, into the end zone, touchdown, Commander.
Maybe these two will recreate their 1966 affair, most combined points in an NFL game in history. Hey, stranger things have happened. Maybe the game will be played in the upside down.
Number 25, A.D. Whitfield, scored 3 of the first 4 Washington touchdowns. Jurgensen threw, and Taylor caught. The Redskins scored on controlled drives, or on one swift blow. The defense scored 2. Brig Owens tallied his second touchdown on a fine piece of running and excellent blocking. It wasn't even safe to punt. It was fun for everyone but the New York Giants on a day the sky rained footballs.
Miami Dolphins keeping hope alive. What else does Mike McDaniel have to do? They've won 4 straight games to pull within 1 game of the 500 mark.
Little fade pass, and that is picked. And another takeaway for Miami.
Now they try and make it 5 straight against a Steelers squad that just got back over the 500 mark, took back over first place in the AFC North when they did it.
They're running after him, and they get to him. They end the game with a sack.
This makes for a sneaky good, sneaky important Monday Night Football affair. Aaron Rodgers coming in off a season-high 284 yards, 8.4 per attempt, no INTs, 1 TD for a nice 103 rating day, all versus Tom's favorite team.
He's going deep. They have not had a deep ball in a month, and they connect for 55 yards.
Poor Tom probably had to silence his cell phone all week after Pittsburgh dialed up 27 points on the Ravens.
Fake it to him. Rodgers still has it. He's going to take off running for the touchdown.
Real ones know Tom, though he needs to man up and start his own Ravens YouTube page. That's 25 plus points in 6 of Pittsburgh's last 8 games, so most weeks they're finding their way to enough points to win. Keeping that mojo going won't be easy versus a Miami defense that hasn't allowed 18 points in 4 straight games after holding the Jets to 3 points.
It's a big 3rd and 4 here for the Jets. Deflected in the air. Was that picked?
They held New York to 1 for 12 on 3rd down. They knocked Tyrod Taylor out of the game. Didn't let Brady Cook look like the famous Brady, more like Greg or Peter. Held him to 163 yards, picked him off twice for a meager 35 rating.
Cook towards the end zone, and it is picked. And this miserable nightmare start for the Jets continues.
What do I know? Maybe Greg or Peter were quarterback ones in high school. Cook, of course, no Rodgers, and reminder, Aaron is looking at a secondary that has not played the pass well in 2025, but they could get after him with their pass rush that's feeling relaxed after sharing a Cook sixer. Chop Robinson slammed one down, Zach Sealer 2.5, so someone needs to drive him in.
Feeling the pocket collapse, and he goes down again.
Finn's DBs didn't have any trouble with any receivers of New York's, but none are on the level of DK though. Metcalf stomps in off a season-high 148 yards, a season-high 12 targets.
Rodgers buying time, now planning and throwing and finding Metcalf at the 30.
And Jaylen Warren with a 38-yard air touchdown, 49 yards receiving, made up for a quiet day as a runner.
Dump it off. Got it. Got the first down. Warren gonna go untouched.
Warren hasn't cracked 4 yards per carry in 3 straight games. Dolphins defense just held Breece Hall to 43 yards, 3.1 per attempt. That was a much better showing against the run compared to others. Miami's own rush attack, though, represents a much bigger puzzle piece when they have the ball. 160 plus rush yards in each game of their 4-game win streak. 239 yards versus the Jets, which led to 34 points.
Achane spinning his way into the second level. He breaks free.
Didn't even slow them down to lose Devon Achane to injury. Hurt his rib. He still could play this week. Hopefully he does, because he's been on a tear. 90-plus yards in each game of the win streak. Would have made it 100-plus in each, being he left after 92 yards on just 7 carries. He scored.
Boy, the lethality in his legs give him some open space. Very few players more dangerous.
Jalen Wright stepped in, picked up where Achane left off, and ran for 107 yards on 4.5 a run. Also found pay dirt.
And off here, in. It's Wright for the Miami touchdown.
They get a Steelers defense that's average versus running backs in 2025. Held Derrick Henry under 4 a carry in last week's win, but gave up a 55-yard run and 76 yards to Keaton Mitchell. Gave up over 210 rush yards when it was all over.
Mitchell makes a nice cut to pick up the first, and he's off and running.
Lamar ran for a touchdown and 43 of those yards. They won't have to worry about a quarterback taking off much this week. And despite all those yards they gave up down low, they held Baltimore to 22 points, held Jackson to 1 touchdown pass, 6.3 per attempt, a 71 rate by picking him off once.
It's around, now just tosses it, picked off. Did not have enough air under it.
They've only given up more than 205 passing yards once in their last 5. Their DBs held every Ravens pass catcher save one under 26 yards. Did give up 124 yards to Zay Flowers. Now Miami's old buddy gets to see what it's like to chase the Penguin around. Jalen Waddle scored last week with 50 yards.
2 fakes, 2 a hit on the release, and they're going to make a touchdown nonetheless.
Tight end Greg Dulcich chipped in 41 yards too, the only other Miami receiver to go for more than 15 yards versus the Jets. Tua Tagovailoa just 127 yards passing, no picks, a 94 rating, only sacked once on 21 pass attempts.
Looking for some answers. Tagovailoa throws across his body. Dulcich again.
He remains hard to sack because he doesn't hold the ball long. Just 2.6 seconds on average from snap to throw. No one gets rid of it faster. TJ Watt didn't bag Lamar once, only 1 sack in his last 4 games. They got Alex Highsmith back from injury. He nabbed one of their 2 Jackson sacks. But as far as playing quick draw passes, Pittsburgh holding quarterbacks to a 94 rating on throws made in 2.5 seconds or less, that's top 10 good.
He's going deep. On the sideline, Hopkins out of bounds.
Miami trails Pittsburgh by 1 all time, 15-14. 4 playoff face-offs, 2 battles to see who would play in the bowl, the first in 1979.
In the opening round of the playoffs, Pittsburgh's pass catchers ran away from the Miami Dolphins. The Steelers scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions to advance to the AFC Championship game.
First of all, to take our Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl.
They say a bad day of golf or fishing is still better than a good day at work. Hopefully playing an NFL football game is still just playing a game. Otherwise, Raiders players need to go fishing. Vegas heads east for Week 15 on a 7-game losing streak. They are in Philadelphia facing a reeling Eagles bunch who have lost 3 straight, and they still have plenty to play for.
Hurts keeps, throws, batted up and picked off. Intercepted, and the Chargers win the ball game.
Philadelphia's road out of the 2025 regular season does provide them a route to at least 11 wins, in theory, of course, but Jalen Hurts can't have any Week 14 repeat performances. 4 INTs in 1 game, no touchdowns, first player ever to turn the ball over twice on the same play? That didn't hurt so good at all.
Intercepted, and now the ball's out, and Hurts ends up with the ball in his hands. He fumbles. Chargers ball, and what a mess of a play.
No 100-rate games in his last 5, in large part because he's completed less than 56% of his passes in 4 of his last 5. In turn, Eagles' offense hasn't put up even a paltry 22 points in a game their last 5 straight.
Hurts down the middle and tipped and picked off the hands of A.J. Brown.
Hurts only took 1 sack on 40 pass attempts, hasn't been dropped twice in a game in his last 5, so that hasn't been the problem. So maybe a Raiders defense that's giving up 25 a game will provide relief, though they do come in off one of their stronger showings. Held Denver's offense to 17 points, 7 came on a punt return. They held Bo Nix to 212 yards, just 5.6 per attempt, no INTs, but also didn't let him throw any TDs.
Nix, end zone incomplete. Tried to squeeze one in a tight window to Courtland Sutton.
They sacked Nix 3 times. Mad Max collected number 9, number 9, number 9.
Bo Nix is taken down. Max Crosby in on that play.
Raiders secondary only allowed 1 Bronco more than 32 yards. Courtland Sutton had 62 against them. Now they square off with A.J. Brown, 100 yards versus L.A., his 3rd 100-yard game in a row.
Hurts throws, he's got A.J. Brown. Good start for the Eagles.
Devontae Smith only 37 yards versus the Chargers. Dallas Goedert with a 78.
Hurts finds Goddard. Nice move. Dallas Goedert with a big play. And it turns into a 16-yard catch and run by Goddard.
Saquon, 122 yards, over 6 a carry, scored from 52 yards out.
Goodbye. Eagles on top, no flags.
Without the fake tush-push scamper, less than 4 yards per carry though, so unless they plan on making it a regular formation, he remains in scuffle land. Raiders front, not easy to run on this year, holding ball carriers to 3.9 a carry, so giving up 4-4 to R.J. Harvey, 75 yards and a TD, represents a bad day at the office on that front.
Takes it in! Touchdown! His 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
What about Vegas's own rush attack? Just kidding, they don't have one. Last in rushing yards per game and yards per carry still, as Ashton Genty only ran for 30 yards versus Denver, 3 per carry. Standard fare behind that O-line. Philadelphia's defense getting to see what the lowest scoring offense in the land is like. Their 17 points last week brought their season average up to 15 a game.
Incomplete. He threw it a little bit behind Trey Tucker.
He had him too if he puts the ball in the right spot.
Philadelphia's defense did its best to win another game for them. Top 10 scoring D, held LA to 19 in regulation, only 22 after overtime.
Here's a ball out on the sack. Philly's ball. Recovered by Byron Young.
They held Justin Herbert to 12 of 26 passing, just 139 yards, 5.3 per attempt, only 1 touchdown, picked him off for a sub-60 rate.
Good protection again. Herbert had his arm hit, and he's intercepted. Adoree Jackson.
They gave up a 60-yard catch to running back Kamani Vidal. Otherwise, they would have held Herbert to less than 100 passing yards. They're now 1st in completion percentage allowed, 3rd in rating allowed for the year. Next up, Geno Pickett, or Kenny Smith. Geno left last week with a hurt hand, helped him avoid throwing another pick at least, and he threw for a touchdown before he left. Pickett, also a TD with no interceptions, a 105 rate combined. For that passing attack, Cube didn't need the AK at all.
Pickett, end zone, touchdown! Shedrick Jackson, his first NFL touch is a touchdown.
If Mama cooks breakfast with no hog, just imagine. Tyler Lockett, 41 yards. Brock Bowers, a TD, 46 yards, has scored back-to-back games.
Geno taking a shot for the end zone. Bowers has it. Touchdown.
And rookie Jack Besh with a season-high 50 yards.
Throwing off his back foot, wide open. It's a first down. And that's the rookie Jack Besh.
Vegas's O-line still had trouble keeping their quarterbacks upright, though. 4 more sacks taken.
Geno hanging in there. Geno is sacked again.
They now sit atop the sacks taken charts. No team has given up more. And now onto a Philadelphia pass rush that comes off a season-high 7-bag shopping trip.
He's in trouble, and down he goes. Zach Bond, the first there. Byron Young there as well. And Jordan Davis.
That was a little out of character as they were only averaging 2 a game before last week, but after facing Vegas, maybe it will be more in character. This is another rubber match. Eagles, Raiders tied up at 7 each. They of course met in the 1980 Super Bowl. Not enough silver and black at the game preview bar right now, so for the sake of the customers present, how about we pour a little 1986 OT action into everyone's glasses.
Cunningham back. Cunningham loading up, going deep down the right side of the field, and it is caught by Quick down at the 10, 5, Quick into the end zone, touchdown. Cunningham rolling on the run, firing for the end zone, touchdown to Quick.
A shaky 3-point lead faded into overtime.
Eagles need a miracle right here. The handoff goes inside. The ball is fumbled. It's picked up by the Eagles. Running with the football down the far side of the field.
By believing in themselves and commanding their fate, the Eagles extracted victory from almost certain defeat.
Cunningham sneaking himself. And it is a touchdown for Randall Cunningham. And just like that, a game that appeared to be out of the Eagles' grasp will come close to rivaling Miracle of the Meadowlands.
Kansas City Chiefs back home again, basically starting their playoff season. They can only hope and not lose again, which won't be easy with the LA Chargers in town. They've won 5 of their last 6 after coming out on top in dramatic fashion on Monday Night Football.
Batted up and picked off, intercepted, and the Chargers win the ball game.
Chargers have a difficult road ahead still, one of the hardest 4-game runs of any team to finish the season. Kansas City, the only sub-500 team they play, and they of course are still the Chiefs, so the Bolts need that defense to keep doing its thing. They just got inducted into the Polk High Hall of Fame. Their game-sealing pick, one of 4 they came up with against Jalen Hurts, 4 INTs in 1 game. Bundy would be impressed.
Intercepted, and now the ball's out, and Hurts ends up with the ball in his hands. He fumbles, and what a mess of a play.
They held Hurts to a paltry 31 rating, now have the 2nd lowest rate for the year, so a 4 INT secondary facing a 3 INT quarterback. Patrick Mahomes finally got to see what bottom actually looks like last week. A 19-rate game on 14 of 33 passing, only 160 yards, no touchdowns, intercepted thrice. No one had ever seen him play a game like last week's.
Mahomes getting it out. Kelsey couldn't hang on, and Alshire has the interception.
No shock, Kansas City's offense stumbles into this contest off a 10-point showing, 4 for 14 on 3rd down, only made it past the 20 twice. They've only cracked 24 points once in their last 5 games.
On a mission, searching, finding Rice, who gets popped and loses the ball incomplete.
Chargers defense, on the other hand, have held 5 of the last 6 offenses under 21 points after holding Philadelphia to 19.
Knew it was coming the entire way, but the way that the Chargers rallied to the football, I mean, that was impressive.
They only sacked Hurts once on 40 pass attempts, so it wasn't that. They gave up 240 yards to Hurts, but held him to 6 yards per attempt. Gave up 100 yards to A.J. Brown, 78 to Dallas Goedert. Travis Kelce last week, 5 targets, 1 8-yard catch. Rashee Rice, 8 targets, only 34 yards. Xavier Worthy, the only Chief with more than 40 yards receiving at 55.
To the air, has a moment to throw. Worthy's got it sideline.
Rush attack comes in cold too, aside from Mahomes anyway. Kareem Hunt, 2.5 a carry versus Houston. Isaiah Pacheco, 3.3. Mahomes led them with 59 rush yards, over 8 per escape.
And Mahomes escaping, running for it, got it and more.
Chargers handled Hurts' 4 rush attempts with ease, gave up 122 yards to Saquon Barkley, 52 of them on a fake tush push.
Barkley, first down, goodbye.
Just a variation off of that tush push.
The technical term for that then is called fluky, or a one-off if you will, like LA's Kamani Vidal ripping off a 60-yard reception. Probably won't happen again this week.
And Herbert is going to drop it to him. Big play. Vidal in a foot race.
Vidal gave LA over 100 scrimmage yards, wasn't super efficient as a runner though, and Justin Herbert wasn't super efficient as a passer. Played through that hurt hand, but was not accurate. 12 of 26 passing for 139 yards. Imagine if Vidal hadn't gotten away. A sub-60 rate, no other Charger pass catcher with even 23 yards.
Herbert had his arm hit, and he's intercepted. Each side has 3 turnovers in this half.
Herbert did run for 66 yards, like Mahomes also led the team, gathering some big first downs along the way.
Forces him out, but Herbert pulled it out of there and carried it for 12 yards over the right side.
And LA got Omarion Hampton back, 56 yards on a nice 4.3 per attempt. Looked good after missing a lot of time.
Wide open touchdown rookie Omarion Hampton. Welcome back.
Their 38 rush attempts helped them scratch out 22 points. Second time in their last 3 they have finished under 23. Plenty of healthy point totals around those 2 games. They were held back by lots of incompletions and sacks. Herbert took a season-high 7.
Here's a ball out. Knocked out by Nakobe Dean. Philly's ball.
Kansas City's pass rush hasn't generated many bags this year, so 3 in 1 game is a spike for them. George Karlaftis and Chris Jones both had 1 apiece, helping hold the Texans to 20 points.
Stroud got tripped up that time and goes down. Chris Jones returned the favor.
KC has held 6 of their last 8 opponents under 23 points, and last week limited CJ Stroud to 203 yards on 15 of 31 passing for an 80 rating.
Showing some pressure, bringing 5. Stroud throws inside, incomplete.
They will have to be geared up for plenty of runs. They held Woody Marks to 2.6 per handoff, and he got 26 of them.
Chris Jones makes the first contact on Woody Marks.
This is a rematch. Chargers set the tone for the year for both teams when they beat Kansas City down under back in week 1, 27-21. Herbert, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 130-plus rate.
It's Herbert to his right with a wide open lane, hits it up and slides down in bounds.
Chargers win over Kansas City week 1 snapped a 7-game win streak they had against the Bolts. The rivalry started in 1960, one playoff battle ever, 1992 season.
In San Diego, it rains about as often as a team gets a shutout in a playoff game.
It's loose, it squirts into San Diego territory.
The San Diego defense devoured Dave Craig with 7 sacks.
The ball is back.
They're going to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking long.
With a 10-0 lead and with 10 minutes left in the game, Humphries sought out his #1 target.
Caught at the 50-yard line by Anthony Miller.
And what followed proved to be the game's decisive moment.
Still loose, and I think it's recovered by San Diego.
7 plays later, Kansas City's fate was sealed.
Touchdown, San Diego!
Indianapolis Colts head west this week, coming off their worst loss of the year, and we're not talking about the score.
Oh, he may need to come out of this game. Oh, man. Potentially devastating for this Indianapolis squad.
I felt like the dude when he's told Bunny was kidnapped. That's a bummer, man, a real bummer. Have to go forth without their starting quarterback, the journey starting off in Seattle, which is one of the worst places you can send a young quarterback to.
Off the deflection from his chest with the interception.
When 3 fans walk into the Angry Beaver in Seattle, this isn't some X-rated joke, it's a sports bar. Does the convo start with the Hawks defense, JSN, or Darnold? It was the latter 2 for weeks, I imagine, when they weren't talking hockey, of course, but that defense, man, it just feels like a caged Tasmanian devil that's let out once a week and just tears through everything in its way, Looney Tunes style. Didn't give up a single touchdown to Atlanta, held them to 9 points. They're now 2nd in points per game allowed at 17 a game.
Fumble! The ball's out and it's recovered by Devin Witherspoon of Seattle.
They held the Falcons to 1 for 13 on third down, made Captain Kirk look like Captain Janeway, picking him off twice, only 162 yards, a piddly 38 rating.
Juggled and intercepted. It ends up in the hands of Devin Witherspoon.
Hawks knocked down 10 of Cousins' balls. Now they go after Riley Leonard's, making his first NFL start, doing it in Seattle. Seems like a kid just did that not long ago. Has anyone seen him since? Leonard made a few nice throws off the bench last week.
Leonard steps up. Leonard waits to the last moment and gets it to Pierce for a big gain.
But just 5 yards per attempt, no TDs, was picked off for a 60 rate.
Wow. And that's 50-50. Wow. Who's got it? And they're ruling it a pick.
And maybe it won't be Leonard, as his status is up in the air due to a knee injury, which means we could see Grandpa Simpson. Grandpa Rivers. Philip was like, hey man, 5 straight years of this Brady Bunch business wears on a guy. Let me try and get away from 300-pound linemen again. Hasn't played since 2020, 44 years old, and yes, is an actual grandpa.
Rivers to the air, fires end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown!
Seattle, 4th most QB takedowns in 2025, only dropped Cousins once though. Their DBs didn't have any top-shelf receivers to worry about. This week, it'll be a little more challenging. Alec Pierce, 80 yards in their loss to Jacksonville.
And it's a strike. The grab made by Pierce, another first down.
Pierce is clocked out with 69-plus yards in 5 of his last 6. Michael Pittman comes in off a solid day of work, 79 yards, 25-ish more than his season average.
Yards after the catch, Michael Pittman.
Colts rookie Tyler Warren, only 15 yards last week. And then there's JT, who's really going to have to leave a dent to potentially cover for the passing game. Jonathan Taylor scored last week, 74 yards.
Handoff, Taylor. They try to push him in. He's there. Touchdown, Colts.
21 attempts, so only 3.5 a carry, and he's been under 4-1 in 4 of his last 5 games. But let's see it. The best back of 2025 versus the hardest team a running back can face this season. Seattle holding backs to 3.6 a try. They held Bijan Robinson to 4.2 a carry. You can say held because he's a 5 a run dude.
Nicky Manwari with the tackle after just a 2-yard run for Bijan Robinson.
The tall task for Indy's defense is not a running back. It's Smith and Jigba, who rebounded from his lone dud, scored twice, 92 yards.
Darnold over the middle. Jackson Smith and Jigba on the run. Breaks a tackle. He'll take it all the way in.
He's now at 14.28 for the year, 1964 the big target, but if he makes it that far, may as well dip your toes into 2K waters, right? No Sauce Gardner to get in the way either, and without him, Indy's DBs gave up 87 yards to Brian Thomas, 78 and a touchdown to Tim Patrick, 39 and a TD to Jacoby Myers, 244 yards allowed to Trevor Lawrence, 2 TDs. They didn't pick him off, gave up a 105 rate.
Wide open, touchdown!
Didn't fare as well versus Lawrence as others this year, but injuries are making things tougher lately, have allowed 245 plus passing yards 3 straight games. They didn't sack Lawrence once on 30 chances, all part of giving up 34 points to Jacksonville's offense.
Lawrence in the pocket, cannot take a sack. Lawrence throws, touchdown!
Again, Colts defense week 14 showing, partially the result of its own offensive futility. They're top 10 in sacks in 2025, holding quarterbacks to an 86 rate, holding teams to 21 a game still. But if they struggled with the team 9th in scoring, how will they fare versus Seattle's, which is 2nd? Yeah, Seahawks in the 2-hole on both defense and offense.
Darnold to Cooper Kupp to the end zone and a touchdown.
37 week 14 points, 26 or more, 6 of their last 7 games. No team with fewer sacks taken. Darnold coming in off a 249-yard, 3-touchdown, 111 rate game.
Play action, Darnold turns, open is tight end A.J. Barner.
He hit Cooper Kupp for a touchdown, 35 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 67 yards, most he's had as a Hawk, plus he housed a 100-yard kickoff return.
And here's Rashid Shaheed, big special teams play, breaking free, and Shaheed all the way to the house almost no flags.
When they run, Kenneth Walker, 10 attempts last week, only 29 yards. Got a 25-yard run from Venus Jones, though. 27-yard run from Zach Charbonnet, so their rush attack was solid.
Zach Charbonnet picks his way up the middle. Good run for Charbonnet into the secondary.
Indianapolis, holding backs to 3-9 an attempt, gave up 2 TDs to Travis Etienne, but held him under 4 a carry for the day.
Etienne to the Etienne zone.
Colts up 7-6 against the Hawks all time. Anybody remember their 80s battles? No? Neither do I. They didn't play each other once the entire decade. The Colts beat the Hawks their first 2 matchups in the 70s. Wasn't until 1991 that the Seahawks got on the board against the Shoes.
Seattle enters the new year with one of the toughest, smartest, and most determined defenses in pro football. Seattle's defensive captain actually seemed quicker than ever.
The road for Green Bay doesn't get any easier. They head to the city a mile high in the sky this week, riding a 4-game win streak that has them in first in the NFC North.
3rd and goal. It is Jacobs plowing up the middle. Josh Jacobs is in. Touchdown Packers.
It's a battle of first-place teams then, because Denver sits atop the AFC West, hottest team in the NFL, having won 10 in a row.
Nix, he's going to run it this time at the 5. Nix is in. Touchdown!
Division leaders with home field aspirations, both with tough roads to finish off the year too. Which offense is going to do enough against these defenses? Denver at 4th in points per game, holding teams to 18 per contest, had no trouble keeping the Raiders to 17.
3rd down and 7. Here comes the blitz again. Gino nearly intercepted.
Broncos, the hardest team to move the sticks on. Packers defense, holding teams to 19 a game, 6th lowest, held Chicago's high-scoring 0-21 points in last week's big win.
Packers send the house. Williams in trouble. Back foot throw to the corner, and he throws it away.
Packers came up with a big pick of Caleb Williams to seal the game, also held him to 186 yards on 5.3 an attempt to a 76 rating.
Throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it.
Only one of the last 6 quarterbacks they've taken on has thrown for more than 205 yards against them. Bo Nix averaging 227 a game this year. Only 212 versus the Raiders, but 31 of 38 passing.
Nix on 1st down, and that's the first catch of the season in a Broncos uniform.
No TDs, no picks last week, only 5.6 yards per attempt. Longest pass play they had was 15 yards. Offense only accounted for 17 points. That's the 4th time in their last 5 they've finished with less than 23 points.
Nix, end zone incomplete. Tried to squeeze one in a tight window to Courtland Sutton.
Nix took 3 sacks last week. First game he's taken that many all year.
As Bo Nix is taken down, Max Crosby in on that play.
Bo threw 38 times, so ratio-wise it wasn't terrible. Green Bay only sacked Caleb once. He's a slippery sucker, but Micah and Rashawn loom, of course. Packers DBs gave up 67 yards to Luther Burden, 42 to Cole Kmet, held everyone else under 30 yards. Courtland Sutton, the only Bronco with more than 33 yards versus Vegas, led the team with 62.
Courtland Sutton makes the adjustment, and another Denver 1st down.
R.J. Harvey caught 6 passes, only 25 receiving yards, gobbled up a season-high 75 yards along the ground, though, 4.4 a carry, and he scored.
Harvey up the middle. Harvey takes it in. Touchdown.
Packers, holding runners to 4 a carry, did give up 63 yards on 4.8 a pop to DeAndre Swift, 138 total to Chicago's rush attack.
Swift, big hole up the middle. He goes for a first down.
Back to Green Bay's offense now. Jordan Love, the focal point for Denver's defense, hit the Bears with 3 touchdowns, over 230 yards, a 120 rate, off over 9 yards per attempt.
Love loading up, going deep, down the field, has a man, it's caught! Touchdown, Bo Melton!
Love with 7 touchdowns in his last 2 games, Christian Watson on the other end of 3 of them, after scoring twice on Chicago, 89 yards, back-to-back 80-plus yard games for Mr. Watson.
Love on a play fake, quick throw, Watson with the speed, Christian Watson in a foot race, and he's gonna win it! Touchdown, Green Bay!
Bo Melton had that 45-yard bomb before the half. Jaden Reed returned, 4 catches, 31 yards as he knocks off the rust. Denver didn't play Geno Smith and Kenny Lockett great last week, gave up a 100-plus rate to the duo, 2 touchdowns, didn't pick either guy off.
Pickett, end zone, touchdown, Cedric Jackson!
A tree just fell in the forest, did you hear it? Denver has held quarterbacks to the 5th lowest rate. Their play versus the pass last week didn't really hurt them, and they added to their league-leading sack total as expected. 4 more to the collection, 11 more than any other team now. Nick Bonito with a pair up to 12.5.
Pickett in trouble, and he's sacked. And it is Nick Bonito. He now has 11.5 sacks on the year.
Love only got sacked once by the Bears, only hit once on 25 pass attempts, has taken 2 or fewer sacks in 11 of his 13 games, so another beefy battle. As is Denver's rush defense versus Josh Jacobs. Jacobs ran for 86 yards on 4-3 per handoff. Week 14, he scored.
Get to the outside, Jacobs. Can he get there? Sweat denies him. He breaks through! Josh Jacobs!
How did he do that?
Only 3 teams harder on running backs in 2025 than Denver, holding them to 3.8 a carry after holding Ashton Genty to 3 a run.
Back to Genty, and again stood up. That is Alex Singleton coming across the line to make the tackle.
How did he do that?
This is a new school YouTube NFL classic. Good Sports versus the Grossi Posse. Those boys are going to have a good time dual streaming this bad boy. Packers trail the Broncos by 1 all-time. Denver up 8-7. They tied once. Not when they met in the 1997 season, though. No ties allowed for that one.
What a game we're in for today. John Elway against Brett Favre. It's all there for the making of an absolute classic here at Super Bowl 32 in San Diego.
With Green Bay keying on Davis, Elway's play fake resulted in a wide-open route to the end zone.
Vintage John Elway there, and the 37-year-old making it happen with his legs. Broncos dance up, blitz is on its way. Atwater's got 5, ball free! Yes, sir! Denver has it! Packers jumping around, they rush 4. Plenty of time for John, now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elway can run. Come on, John, come on. Come on. Inside the 10, head first. He flies inside the 5-yard line. My goodness!
You want to tell me the 37-year-old man doesn't want to win this game?
Man, oh, man.
That's sacrifice. Oh, man.
Fittingly, Terrell would crash the final yard.
2nd and goal from the 1. Davis to the end zone. Touchdown, Denver! This is it. Hello. 1 play to the championship. 4th and 6 for the 31. Blitz is on. Farm hit as he throws. Pass is going to be incomplete. Denver! Denver's going to win it. Oh, baby, they're going to win this thing. Are you kidding me? You can stand up and salute in Denver. The Broncos are world champions. Final score, Denver 31, Green Bay 24.
From one monster matchup to the next, Detroit Lions head west with their playoff hopes very much alive after rolling boxcars against the Cowboys last week.
Handoff, Gibbs, they got the edge on the outside. Great block from the outside. He strolls in, and that made it easy for Gibbs. He could have done that on his hands.
They are in Hollywood to face the LA Rams, who return home off their own 40-plus burger with cheese that put them back in the top spot in the NFC.
Just take note, because they can kill you any which way.
So we get two offenses that just put up 40-plus points the previous week, the whole Stafford-Goff trading places thing, and playoff implications galore doesn't get much better. In one corner, Jared has thrown for 240-plus yards in 7 straight games, went for 309 versus Dallas, 1 touchdown, no picks, 100-plus rate game for the second week in a row.
To the end zone, open touchdown! 12 yards, 46 seconds.
In the other corner, Matthew, who rebounded nicely from his Carolina stumble, 3 TDs over 9 yards per attempt versus Arizona, 281 yards, a 131 rate, back in front probably for that 3-lettered trophy.
Stafford sets, throws, caught, into the end zone, touchdown!
Rams offense smacked Arizona with 45 points, a season high 28 or more points in 6 of their last 7.
Stafford, end zone, caught, touchdown!
Matthew Stafford puts it on the money for him.
Detroit's offense has only finished a game with less than 24 points 3 times all year. 44 points last week, second time they've put up that many with DC calling the shots.
You can only bottle them up so long. Touchdown.
The defense they face, the tougher of the two. LA holding teams to 17 a game, held Arizona to 17. 4 for 12 on third down, only 2 teams holding teams to fewer points.
It's not where the Cardinals offense wants to be.
Able to stay on his feet and then throws it away.
Rams secondary reverted back to form after making Bryce Young look like an actual number 1 overall pick, picked off Jacoby Brissett once, held him under 7 yards per attempt to an 80 rating. They are holding quarterbacks to the 7th lowest rate on the season.
Oh. This pass is picked off.
Ooh. Goff gets to see what the fearsome foursome 2.0 is all about. Rams with 3 more sacks last week. Kobe Turner with 1 has 4.5 from the inside. Byron Young picked up his team-leading 11th.
Nice job up front, giving Jacoby Brissett 0 time to throw that football.
Goff only took 1 sack on 34 pass attempts versus the Cowboys, but 3 sacks taken in each of his previous 2 games. When he lets it fly, Jamison Williams, 88-plus yards, 4 of his last 5 games after going for 96 versus the Cowboys. No longer just a dude that shows up some games.
Goff fires, caught on the run, and taking it inside the 30, Williams.
Amon-Ra St. Brown played through his hurt ankle, 92 yards, leaving him 24 away from 1,000 for the year.
Fired over the middle, big gain inside the 30-yard line, St. Brown.
Rams DBs did give up 142 yards to Michael Wilson in their win, 2 touchdowns, 58 yards allowed to Trey McBride, nothing of significance to any running backs, either through the air or along the ground, faced 7 Bam Knight rush attempts, held him to 16 yards. Now they have to track Jahmyr Gibbs, comes in off a big pass catcher outing, 77 yards in receiving yards versus the star.
There he goes again, breaking tackles all the way to the 11-yard line.
And Gibbs broke through the G-spot down low last week, has over 1,000 yards rushing, also painted it Honolulu blue 3 times.
Through the middle, Gibbs into the end zone for a Lions touchdown.
David Montgomery sighting last week too, 60 yards, a long touchdown.
Montgomery breaking tackles, inside the 10, he goes to the end zone for the touchdown.
If your offense can put up 44, giving up 30 isn't so bad. With that said, Detroit has now given up 27-plus points in 3 straight games.
Prescott throwing wide open and into the end zone.
Wasn't that they played the pass bad, their pass rush was on, and they played the run well enough. Secondary lost Brian Branch to an Achilles injury, though. It's been like watching Game of Thrones with these guys. Who's gonna go next? Still, they picked off Dak Prescott twice, held him to a sub-80 rate. Nice rebound from their showing versus Jordan Love the week before.
Deflected, intercepted by the Lions. Comes up with the gift.
Got some Christmas shopping done early. They bagged him up 5 times. Still not sure how Madagascar Marty, behind the Wizard of Oz curtain in New York, took that safety from them. Didn't end up mattering, luckily. Al-Quadin Muhammad with a sack trick. It's almost more scarier that they did so much damage without Aiden being in on one.
Look out, down he goes. Muhammad, that's 3 for him tonight.
Stafford not wrapped up once on 31 pass attempts versus Arizona. He's hard to put under that Christmas tree. Rams tied for the fewest sacks taken in 2025. And as we just saw, extra time equals a big game for either Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua, sometimes both, though Adams only had 29 yards on his 6 targets last week. Nacua, though, scored twice, racked 167 yards, so he's feeling funky.
Now Stafford fires downfield. Nacua, touchdown!
Nacua, the only Rams pass catcher with more than 40 yards versus the Cardinals. Colby Parkinson scored only 32 yards. It was Puka, Stafford, and that run game. Ronnie Rivers, 41 yards, 5.1 a carry. Kyron Williams, 84 yards, 6.5 per, plus a touchdown.
As Kyron Williams takes it in.
By the time he's touched, it's already a touchdown.
That's 70 plus yards, 5 of his last 6, 4-5 or better, 6 of his last 7. And then there's Blake Corum, 80 plus yards back-to-back weeks. After dropping 128 on Arizona with 2 TDs, their double-double with Cheese led the way to 249 rush yards last week.
Blake Corum inside the 30, and he is going to take this all the way.
Detroit has played the run well all year. Week 14, no exception, as they held Javonte Williams to 3.9 a run, which is what they're holding all ball carriers to in 2025.
Second and short, and they're going to be a yard short here with a 3rd down forthcoming.
These two played week 1 last year, played each other in the playoffs the year before. Rams only up 2 after playing each other close to 90 times since 1937. Both teams were looking pretty good in 1999, put on a pretty good show for the fans in that one.
Takes handoff Greg Hill, and he's on for a safety.
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Lions quickly regained their focus. Detroit attacked Ram quarterback Kurt Warner most of the afternoon.
Twice they get in there. What are they doing?
Detroit treated Marshall Faulk even worse. With just over a minute to play, it came down to a 4th and 26 for Detroit.
He's got it! Holy mackerel! Barat looking around, fires, and caught! Touchdown, Lions! We never die! We never die!
Cleveland Browns take to the road this week. Dog pound, not worried about record. Just want to see if primetime 2.0 is going to be an actual thing.
Sanders will keep. And to the end zone. Shador Sanders runs his way in for 6. He maneuvered his way out of a sack, a tackle, and gets the touchdown.
They are in Chicago this week. Bear down, hoping week 14 wasn't the clock striking midnight. Just because the glass slipper lost a shank doesn't mean it's all over, right?
Intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
Even the best high-wire act eventually slips, usually into a net, so the Bears kind of hoping Cleveland is their net and they bounce back up onto the wire. To do that, they could really use more from their passing attack. For glass half full to Bear fans, Caleb Williams came on late versus Green Bay, some nice throws, both his touchdowns in the second half.
Touchdown! Oh, Olamide Zaccheaus!
For the glass half empty folks, 76 rating because he completed less than 60% of his passes for the 9th time in his last 10 games. He wouldn't make the A-team right now. Hannibal, BA, Face, and Murdoch occasionally hit a tire at least. Per PFF, 22% of his passes versus Green Bay, uncatchable. For 2025, 24%. No quarterback in the NFL has a higher off-target rate. Mallory Archer would tell you that's how you get ants and leave games with 21 points and not 28 or more.
Williams surveys incomplete. Tried to get it underneath the burden, but he missed him by a wide margin.
He doesn't face an easy team to pass on this week. You can dismiss their play versus Cam Ward if you want. 14 of 28 passing, only 117 yards, 4.2 an attempt, 70 rating, but it's also a defense holding quarterbacks to a sub-90 rate for the season. And of course, he has to worry about Myles Garrett. Browns only had 1 sack last week. He got it. 7 straight games with a bag plus. At 20 now, 3 away from breaking the NFL single-season record.
His 20th sack of this season.
Incredible. This is incredible. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, no, now he's 2.5 away from tying, 3 away from setting the single-season record.
Williams is an escape artist, still does get caught though. He's taken a sack 7 of his last 8 games, but no more than 2 in any. Didn't have Rome Odunze last week.
Rome Odunze out today.
Didn't lead to a big game for DJ Moore, -4 yards. Luther Burden led the team with 67 yards.
Great pass protection, you see that late, but here's Luther Burden, the young receiver, finding a hole in the zone.
Cole Kmet, 42 yards.
And that's a perfect strike to Kmet in stride.
Colston Loveland, a touchdown, 29 yards.
Colston Loveland, touchdown!
The flow of their loss to Green Bay kind of altered Chicago's typically run-first offense. It was still plenty efficient. Kyle Monangai, 57 yards, 4.1 a carry. DeAndre Swift, 68 yards on 4.8 a scamper.
DeAndre Swift keeps it moving.
And you could see those two playing a big role then, as the biggest reason Cleveland gave up 31 points last week to the second lowest scoring team in the NFL was because they gave up over 160 yards to Tony Pollard, 2 touchdowns, 6.4 per carry.
Pollard still going, unbelievable run. He's going to take it to the house for a touchdown.
Tony Pollard does the rest. He gets in the open field like that. You ain't catching him, and the Tennessee Titans offense is operating.
That was a little like burying the lead when it comes to this matchup. And you can argue waiting this long to talk about Shedeur is out of order too. Sanders with that rushing touchdown we saw earlier to go along with 3 TD passes, 360 plus yards. Brownies, could he be the one?
What else does he have up his sleeve?
29 points, second most they've put together all year, but 24 plus in 2 of Sanders' 3 starts. Yeah, last week it was against the Titans, but here's why he could do it again. He has shown himself to be a guy who likes chunk plays. Chicago's secondary giving up 11.4 per catch, 24th in the NFL. They gave up a 45-yard TD to Bo Melton, gave up 3 touchdowns to Jordan Love, gave up 28 points to the Packers, giving up 25 a game on average.
Touchdown, Bo Melton and the Pack!
Bears have feasted on takeaways, only 1 versus the Packers, only sacked Love once. Montez Sweat got it, has 8.5 for the year. Their DBs gave up 2 touchdowns to Christian Watson, 89 yards. Now they have Jerry Jeudy on their hands. He scored versus Tennessee, 76 yards, 2 short of his season high.
And there's Jerry Jeudy, and he's off and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Sanders used all 3 types of pass catchers well versus Tennessee. Tight end Harold Fannin led the way with his first 100-yard game, 114 plus a touchdown.
Leaping up and grabbing it, Harold Fannin, and that's a Browns touchdown.
And Cleveland's running backs, Quinshon Judkins, nothing on handoffs, but he had a 58-yard reception.
You got to stick with Judkins. He is your best player on the offensive side of the ball. Beautifully executed screen down the sideline.
And Dylan Sampson, 5 catches, 64 yards on passes.
And Dylan Sampson running through the Titans before he gets to the 15-yard line.
Browns haven't run the ball great as of late.
And trouble for Judkins. He's going to lose about 4.5, 5 yards.
Bears defense is an opportunity to get right. They have played the run bad all year, gave up over 80 yards and a TD to Josh Jacobs. Fact, Bears eat beats. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, so does that mean Bears can beat Browns? I don't know, maybe Dwight can answer that. Browns beat the Bears their first 3 times they met, up 11-7 in the series overall. They only played one time in the 70s, 1972.
Cleveland was the scene of the start of a Bears winning streak, and it was a decisively smashing one too, a 17-0 shutout. Although Douglas completed only 2 passes, one was a touchdown. Douglas ran for 115 of the 250 yards rushing accumulated by the Bears. Bobby's longest run of the season was a 57-yarder on a bootleg that fooled everyone. And at the end, he had to fend off 2 Browns pursuers inside the 10.
New England holds the nail. Is this the week they drive it into the coffin? What a heavyweight bout this one is. Shame it didn't get flexed. New England Patriots at home after a week of rest. Not sure they wanted it. They hit their bye on a 10-game win streak.
The pass to Williams is perfect. Touchdown, Patriots!
And now it's time for round 2 with the Bills, who they already conquered this year. Buffalo's on-again, off-again offense flipped the lights back on last week to keep within striking distance of the Pats.
He throws. He's got a touchdown. He's got Jackson Hawes.
One week you walk out and you watch Josh Allen pull a mid-movie Clark Griswold. You have high expectations, he takes the snap, and nothing. Then the next week he plugs it in, short-circuits the entire city's power grid, runs for 78 yards and a TD, offense tops 30 points.
There goes Josh Allen through the snow into the end zone. Touchdown Bills!
And throws for over 250 yards with 3 touchdowns, no picks, 9 yards per attempt in the snow, a 139 rate, his week 14 showing, a real beaut, Clark.
They have the ultimate weapon in football, Josh Allen.
The problem has been lack of continuity. Buffalo's offense has only cracked 20 points twice in their last 5 games. From week 5 on, they have yet to string together 3 straight games where they looked like the part of an elite offense. One of the teams to hold them in check, the Patriots, week 5. Pats made a statement beating Buffalo in their crib. Drake May went 22 for 30 for 270 plus yards. Stephon Diggs, 10 catches for over 140. Seemed like he was at home.
Stephon's been big tonight. He's got it again. He's got a first down and more. Diggs on the run inside the 20. Stephon Diggs!
Allen threw for 250 plus yards and 2 TDs in that game. New England also picked him off. Their defense top 5 in scoring, holding teams to 18 a game, less than 24 points in 12 of their 13 bouts.
And now Johnson gets hit over the middle, incomplete, as Marte Mapu delivered the blow.
Allen looking at a secondary giving up a 94 rating, not great, but they're holding quarterbacks to 6.8 an attempt, haven't allowed over 190 yards passing in their last 3 straight. Christian Gonzalez hasn't allowed a TD all year, holding his targets to a sub-80 rate.
Dart downfield, and it is broken up by Christian Gonzalez.
New England only averages 2 sacks a game, not their specialty per se, but K'Lavon Chaisson has 6.5 for the year, Harold Landry 7.5.
Gets hit hard, drilled by Harold Landry.
They only sacked Allen once in their win over Buffalo. Allen was dropped 3 times by Cincinnati. He's taken 3+ in 4 of his last 6 now.
Allen pump fake, steps up, and gets ripped down.
Those sacks last week barely slowed him, 22 of 28 passing, dished it up to 9 different guys. Khalil Shakir a touchdown, only 16 yards. Gabe Davis 21 yards. His tight ends led the way last week. Dalton Kincaid 41 yards and a TD.
Allen to the end zone, Kincaid, touchdown Bills.
And Dawson Knox a season-high 93 yards on 6 catches.
It's Dawson Knox, 32 on the first play of the day for Buffalo.
James Cook 31 receiving yards, 80 on the ground, 4.4 a carry.
It's James Cook with a massive hole, and James Cook with his first big run of the day.
New England is holding running backs to 3.7 a run, held Cook to 49 yards, 3.3 a carry in their first meeting.
They have limited Cook. He has no run over 9 yards tonight.
Not as strong versus quarterbacks, 5.3 a carry allowed to them, a full yard more than the league average. Gave up 53 yards onto Allen. He went for 78 yards last week, 8.7 a run, plenty of big first downs.
Allen runs and has a first down.
He's going to have to shine again to outshine Drake May. Haven't seen a year two like his from a quarterback probably since Dan Marino's. May doesn't sport the crazy TD numbers Marino had, but the rest is just as insane in the membrane. Over 260 yards per game, second in the league in rating at 111, leads it in completion percentage at 71%, which is made more impressive by the fact he's second in yards per attempt and yards per completion. He'd tell Jerry his long balls are real and they're spectacular.
And here's one downfield, caught for the touchdown. Kyle Williams.
Eyes up here, please. He's the driving force behind a Pats offense averaging 27 a game. They've hit at 24 plus in their last 8 straight.
That's a great shot of the accuracy I was talking about on the deep balls.
And now he's going after a secondary that gave up 4 touchdowns to Joe Burrow, a rating over 100, close to 8 yards per attempt. He's lining up against a defense that gave up 34 points last week, let Cincinnati go 3 for 3 in the red zone, 10 for 12 on third down.
Wants T. Higgins, he's got him!
That's 30 plus points allowed to 3 of their last 5 opponents. They did pick off Burrow twice, House called one of them. Their defense has 2+ takeaways in 5 of their last 7 games.
Oh my goodness! Look out here! Christian Benford, gift wrapped the other way, touchdown!
Didn't have Joey Bosa last week, only 1 sack on 36 Burrow pass attempts. May's desire to go deep does make him susceptible to taking a few sacks. His line has been beat up too, so that's part of it, but he's taken 3+ sacks in 8 of their 13 games.
May's in trouble out to his left, and then just slides down.
Buffalo's cover guys held Jamar Chase to 44 yards on 8 targets, but gave up a touchdown and 86 yards to tight end Mike Gesicki, 92 yards and 2 scores to T. Higgins. May has not relied on one specific guy. He seems to look across the line of scrimmage, find Waldo, and goes after him. So they have 5 guys averaging 30+ receiving yards per game. Diggs, the only guy averaging more than 50 per game, 705 yards for the year.
It's complete to Diggs. Nice catch and run as Drake May hit him in stride.
Demario Douglas has 1 100-yard game, a 70-yard outing, averages 30 per contest. Mac Hollins, 1 C-note game, an 80-yard game, averages 33 a game. And everyone knows Drake is both a booty and a tight end guy, and so is May, as Hunter Henry has 5 TDs and over 600 yards in 2025.
Henry makes the catch and rumbles with a lot of room in front of him.
Kayshawn leads the team with 6 touchdowns despite missing 2 games.
Kayshawn Boutte is one of the most improved players in the NFL this year.
2 options in the backfield. Ramondre Stevenson missed 3 games, only averaging 3.2 a carry, so he's ceded the RB1 slot to rookie Travion Henderson, who's hitting at a nice 4.8 clip, 5 paint jobs.
Boy, he can fly. And Travion into the secondary, and
Buffalo, one of 4 teams still giving up over 5 per attempt to ball carriers, did hold Chase Brown to 1.9 per on his 12 attempts. The last time these two played a game this late in the year with this much on the line, just a few years ago, 2019, Week 16, 11-3 Patriots beat the 10-4 Bills to lock up the division.
Brady, play fake to the air for Matt LaCosse, who's got it for the New England touchdown. As reported eligible, Ryan Bates. Allen is rolling, he throws back to the corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Dion Dawkins. But I'm guessing, 2nd and 13, Allen deep drop hit as he throws it downfield for Brown, who's got it. John Brown breaks free and scores. Touchdown, Buffalo. And he's in motion, 1st and goal. And Brady gives to Burkhead, who is bouncing off a tackle and into the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown. For the 2, it'll be Brady throwing double clutching, and Edelman's got it. Allen takes the snap. Patriots bring the heat. He spins. He puts it up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Knocked away by J.C. Jackson. The Patriots should be able to take a knee and close this game out and win the division title and extend their NFL record. It's 11 consecutive years.
Back in the ring they go. Still plenty to fight for. Cincinnati Bengals back in the jungle, coming off a snowy, high-scoring loss to Buffalo.
18 yards to seal the deal on another Buffalo win.
But Who Day is still alive, thanks to Pittsburgh, sort of, and they have an easier road ahead, maybe, than the visiting Baltimore Ravens anyway, who ceded the AFC North lead last week and face a bumpy finish.
The Ravens' playoff hopes take a colossal blow.
Pittsburgh's remaining slate, by the way, Miami, at Detroit, at Cleveland, Baltimore at home. So, is it a race to 9 wins? If so, the Ravens have more on the line in terms of tiebreakers this week, with both Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. These two just played. Joe Burrow's first game back from injury. You remember, slow start to the game, 2 second-half touchdowns, Jamar with over 100 yards, and the crazy part, Cincinnati's defense held Baltimore to 14 points, picked off Lamar Jackson, no touchdowns.
Another turnover for the Ravens, and the Bengals have it right around midfield.
Jackson remains in his slump. 19 of 35 last week versus Pittsburgh, only 6.3 per attempt, only 1 touchdown got picked off, a 71 rate.
This is not the same Lamar Jackson we're used to seeing.
Jackson has played 5 sub-88 rate games in a row, 2 TD passes in his last 5, 4 INTs. Ravens offense fewer than 24 points in 4 straight after only going for 22 versus the Steelers, 7 for 18 on third down, 2 for 6 in the red zone.
Here's where the Ravens have had troubles. They have struggled in the red zone.
They need to hope Cincinnati's defensive play isn't just good when they face a purple team, because it went back to hockey goalie facing Fedorov in those old commercials last week versus the Bills. Kick save, 70-plus yards and a TD on the ground to Josh Allen, couldn't stop him. Glove hand, 250-plus yards allowed to Josh Allen through the air, 3 TDs, couldn't stop him. 5-hole, 32 points allowed, couldn't stop them.
He's got a touchdown!
They let Allen go 22 of 28 passing, 9 yards per attempt. They sacked him 3 times, didn't really impact anything. Gave up 41 yards and a TD to Dalton Kincaid, 93 yards to Dawson Knox, so trouble with their tight ends. But held all of Buffalo's wide receivers under 22 yards. Wideout Zay Flowers, the only Raven with more than 26 receiving yards last week. 8 catches on 11 targets, 124 yards.
And he makes the catch. In bounds, they say. What a play by Zay Flowers.
It just seems like Flowers is the only guy who makes a dent most games. Ravens did feed King Henry more last week, ran for 94 yards, cracked 1,000 on the year.
And Derrick Henry continues to put himself into the elite pages of the record book.
Only 3.8 per run versus Pittsburgh. He hit Cincinnati at 6 a pop, only had 10 carries, so you'd think he'd get more this week. Bengals just gave up 80 yards on 4.4 a run to James Cook, also all those yards to Allen.
Touchdown Bills, 40 yards.
Lamar did score as a runner at least, along with 43 rush yards.
Touchdown, Lamar Jackson! His first touchdown in a month.
And Keaton Mitchell broke off a 55-yard run, 76 yards total.
Oh, what a run by Keaton Mitchell!
Bengals offense didn't get anywhere near that kind of production out of its own run game versus the Bills. Chase Brown, who's had some nice games, held a 1.9 a carry in snowy conditions. Ravens held Pittsburgh to 34 rush yards on 2.0 a carry. So there's your quick thumbnail recap on that front. Maybe that eliminated 2 ads from the 108 you've seen. This side of the coin is Burrow, 4 touchdowns over 280 yards. It was a classic. What else do you need from me game?
Cool Joe on a cold Sunday, at it again.
Well, you could not throw 2 INTs, 1 a pick 6, so Cincinnati's defense only gave up 32. Still less than the 34 the Bengals put up. 10 for 12 on 3rd down.
And another 3rd down conversion for Cincinnati.
So 30-plus points with Burrow back-to-back games, one of those versus Baltimore's defense, which then gave up 27 to Pittsburgh.
There is nobody there, and he's in for the score.
Ravens secondary not able to shore things up after Burrow got him, giving up 284 yards to Aaron Rodgers, over 8 yards per attempt, a rating over 100. Couldn't chase down Grandpa Simpson. They didn't sack Rodgers once on 34 pass attempts. Let DK have his way to the tune of 148 yards.
The Ravens have to figure out the riddle of how to stop DK Metcalf.
Burrow only took 1 sack on 36 pass attempts. Baltimore's corners back to chasing Chase, 44 yards last week.
Chase plucked it out of the air, stayed on his feet, and got a 1st down.
Just no huge plays on his 5 catches, not like T. Higgins, 92 yards and 2 TDs in his return from injury.
He catch that thing with 1 hand and still made it look easy.
And Mike Gesicki dances in off an 86-yard, 1-score trip through the winter wonderland.
Gesicki right down the chute gets 36 yards.
Checked out their crazy OT game from 2013 a couple of weeks ago. This time, let's check out the very first ever Bengals-Ravens dance.
As the season reached the stretch run, one of the main reasons for the Bengals' resurgence was a balanced attack.
Empty backfield, Blake to toss. Looking, steps to the pocket, fires up the middle. Caught, 5-yard line into the end zone. Carl Pickens, touchdown Bengals.
Against Baltimore, special teams kept the game close with back-to-back Pelfrey field goals. Then, trailing by a point in the 4th quarter, the offense took over to lead the rally.
2nd and goal. Bengals at the Raven 1 with 3:20 left in the game. Blake with a football, fakes the handoff. Throws it in the end zone, wide open. Touchdown, Tony McGee. Blake faked them all. And the Bengals up 19-14. And the Bengals are going to go for 2, it appears. Blake under center, gets the ball, hands off, Hurst up the middle, he's got it. Garrison Hurst for 2. It's the Bengals 21, the Ravens 14.
To protect that lead, the defense dug in at the goal line with the clock ticking. 4 times the Ravens came rapping at the door. Both the Bengals never mold.
3rd and goal for the Ravens at the Bengal 1 with 36 seconds left in the game. Testaverde under center, hands to Bam Morris, straight ahead, stop short. Stop short again, wow. And the Ravens will look at 4th and goal, 30 seconds left.
The play of the game right here.
Testaverde with a football, looking to throw. Comes it left side, the receiver dropped at the 1. He threw for Garner at the 1, and he was stopped by Sam Shade. And Cincinnati stands rock solid on the goal line.
On the strong arms of the defense, the Bengals were lifted to a 4th comeback victory in 7 games.
Tennessee Titans are on fire as they head west this week. Hey man, it's all relative. And which other team was so good they doubled their win total in 1 week?
On the direct snap, He was supposed to pitch it, but didn't and couldn't. And now he's going to have to throw it, and it's incomplete.
They are in San Francisco next to take on a rested 49ers bunch, and one with momentum as they've won their last 3 straight. There are no layups in the NFL, but the Titans are, the kind of team the 49ers expect to take care of with ease.
Caught for the touchdown. Grab by Jawan Jennings.
Niners aren't 100% healthy, but as close as they're probably going to get at this point. Offense is trending in the right direction, averaging 23 a game for the year. They've scored 26-plus points in 4 of their last 5.
3rd and goal, McCaffrey, touchdown, got in there.
They have Tennessee this week, a road tilt with Indy the following week, Chicago and Seattle at home to finish the season off, so 3 of their last 4, all versus above 500 teams. Tennessee, not even sniffing 500, and even in their Week 14 win, they gave up 29 points to an offense that was averaging 16 a game.
And there's Jerry Jeudy, and he's off, and into the end zone, touchdown Cleveland.
Brock Purdy gets a secondary that made Shador look primetime, gave up 3 touchdowns to Sanders, over 360 yards on 8.7 an attempt.
Fires for the end zone, open, leaping up and grabbing it. Harold Fannin.
Nothing fluky about their play versus Shador either. Bad against the pass most weeks. That's good news for Purdy. He has a nice 4-1 record.
The fake. Purdy, touchdown, San Francisco.
Hasn't been very BCB though. 2+ INTs in 3 of his 5 games, sub-93 rate games in 4 of 5, 200 or fewer yards in his last 3 straight. Purdy's hoping a string of games with the same group of pass catchers proves to be the cowbell for his fever, as Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, George Kittle. All of them have missed games this season. Kittle, with just 8 games played, has put up 67+ yards in his last 4 straight though, so he's back to looking the part of top-shelf tight end.
In for Kittle, broken up on the play, Hickman.
Oh, they're calling catch.
They're going to call the catch.
Kittle gets a DB group that just gave up 114 yards to tight end Harold Fannin and a touchdown. Their secondary gave up a touchdown and 75 yards to Jerry Jeudy. Purdy's wide guys, Pearsall, 7 games played, had a couple of 100+ yard games early.
Give it to Block and caught for the first down. Ricky Pearsall chased out of bounds by Campbell.
Less than 15 yards in his last 3 showings. Most consistent contributor for the season, Jennings, only 2 games missed, but has played dinged up quite a bit too. 4 to 6 catches, 7 straight games, 31 to 71 yards in each of those contests, has broken the magical white line 5 times.
Caught for the touchdown. Grab by Jawan Jennings.
And then there's this. Tennessee gave up a 58-yard reception to running back Quinshon Judkins, 64 receiving yards to running back Dylan Sampson. That's a lot of yards to backs, and here comes CMC. Leads the team in receiving yards, 85 catches, over 800 receiving yards, 5 air TDs.
Here comes Garrett, there goes Purdy, here comes McCaffrey. There was a block out there thrown by Burford.
He's tracking for another 1K double-double, 8 scored down low, 849 rush yards.
Well, it's a double team right in the front. Brindle's the one that gets up on the linebacker, and McCaffrey goes right off his backside to get into the end zone.
Under 3.9 yards per carry in 10 of his 13 games, hasn't steered them away from not feeding him handoffs, most rush attempts after 13 weeks. Titans didn't have problems with Judkins, the runner, as they held him to 1.9 a carry. Speaking of run games, their own running back is what powered their offense to that win over Cleveland. Tony Pollard going for a season best, 161 yards, 2 TDs, 6.4 a carry, broke a 65-yarder.
And there goes Tony Pollard. And Pollard up across the 45 and across midfield.
Pollard fueled Tennessee's offense to a season-high 31 points. He had never looked that good this year, and neither had Tennessee's offense. That's going to be hard to replicate versus a San Francisco defense that has held their last 2 opponents under 10 points, their last 3 under 23 points. holding teams to 20 points per game for the year, top 10 good.
4th and 16, up the middle they come, devoured on the play by Keon White.
San Francisco holding backs to 4.2 a carry for the season, slightly better than the league average, and their defense has taken the ball away 2 to 3 times, 3 straight games.
And now the fair catch. He fumbled the ball, muffed it, and it's picked up right there.
Holding teams to 20 per without a pass rush, no team with fewer bags, and without playing the pass well, only a few teams giving up a higher rate.
Pocket and caught on that fluttering ball. Bond getting under it.
Cam Ward next in the queue. Only took 1 sack to Myles Garrett. That's a good day for a guy who's taken as many sacks as he has. He threw for a couple of touchdowns versus the Browns, so he enters off his career best TD passing output.
Ward fakes, looking to throw, back and open into the end zone for a touchdown.
But Ward is the kind of quarterback secondaries get well against. Only 117 yards last week, 4.2 an attempt. Would have been better off just handing to Pollard at that average. A 70 rate, not one Titans pass catcher with 30 yards in the game.
Ward fighting for his life just to get rid of that football outside. Man, that is incredible.
9-6, 49ers up on Tennessee all time. Let's check out the very first time they played back when the Titans were the Houston Oilers and the year was 1970.
In Houston, Bruce Taylor's remarkable performance drives the 49ers to their 7th victory of the year. For the 4th consecutive week, the 49ers are able to overcome early sluggishness with big plays. Trailing 10-7 in the 3rd quarter, the special teams block a punt out of the end zone for a safety. Brody's offense then churns through the Oilers for 23 points in the 2nd half. He throws a 54-yard touchdown pass to Jimmy Thomas. Many now theorize the 49ers to be unstoppable.
Jets heading south to Florida this week, not to retire like many New Yorkers do when they make that trip, but to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, who sit alone atop the AFC South.
The hot streak continues for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 36-19.
9-4 with the Jets this week. Road game versus Denver. Road game versus the Daniel Jones-less Colts. Finish at home versus Tennessee. On paper, Duval faithful looking at least 12 wins, right? Just can't slip up. Didn't last week as they won their 4th straight.
He throws. Deep shot. Got his man. Tim Patrick.
Jags offense went for 34 points versus Indianapolis. That's 25 plus points in 6 straight games. And look who's heating up at the right time. Trevor Lawrence with his 2nd 100 plus rate game in a row. He only has 2 for the year. 2 touchdowns, no picks in each of his last 2 outings. 244 yards last week, 8.1 per attempt. Has hit at 8 plus per attempt in 3 straight.
For that ball to be dropped right in the bucket. What a throw by Lawrence. What a catch.
Didn't take a single sack on 30 pass attempts either, so why not keep the good times going? Jets defense just gave up 34 points to a Miami offense averaging 21 a game, only 5 teams allowing more points per game than New York.
Running away from Brandon Stevens, and that's a tough coverage right there for Stevens.
For the record, they held Miami to 2 for 10 on 3rd down and have been tough to move the sticks on in general. They held Tua Tagovailoa to 127 yards passing.
2 up on 3rd and 2, batted down and broken up. Azarie Thomas.
Lawrence, though, looking at a group, giving up a 101 rate to quarterbacks, only 4 teams easier on the position. They are now 13 games in and have yet to pick off a single pass. and only 4 teams have sacked the quarterback less than they have. They gave up 50 yards and a touchdown to Jalen Waddle last week. The WR1 they get this week, Brian Thomas, who hauled in 87 yards versus Indy. If he was a diver or a figure skater, he'd get extra points for the difficulty level of his catches.
A brilliant catch, 39 yards.
Wow! Just an incredible ball and an even better catch.
Some Jags fans would tell you Jacoby Myers is the new go-to. That trade keeps bearing fruit. He led the team with 10 targets versus the Colts, scored for the 3rd straight game.
On a first down, 2.5 to go in the first. Lawrence looking end zone, wide open, touchdown!
And Tim Patrick comes in off his best game as a Jaguar, season-high 78 yards and a TD.
Lawrence in the pocket.
Cannot take a sack.
Lawrence throws! Touchdown!
And maybe they get another big game from Travis Etienne on the ground. He scored twice versus the Colts, 74 yards. He's at 917 yards for the year now.
Oh, the cut to the outside! Etienne! To the Etienne zone!
The New York front he goes after next gave up 92 yards on 7 attempts to Devon Achane before he left hurt. Proceeded to treat Jalen Wright the same way, giving up a touchdown to him, 107 yards on 4.5 per rush.
Handoff here, in, it's Wright for the Miami touchdown.
Still, when your defense stops the other team on 2 of 10 third down chances, it's probably as much an offensive problem as much as anything else, and the Jets' offense is offensive. 1 for 12 on 3rd down versus Miami, only accounted for 3 of their 10 points. They lost Tyrod Taylor to injury. Undrafted Brady Cook stepped in, looked like a dude who wasn't drafted. No touchdowns, 2 picks, a 35 rate.
Down to 35 seconds. Cook towards the end zone, and it is picked.
Jacksonville just took on a Brady Cook-like quarterback, handled with ease, 145 yards on 29 pass attempts, no touchdowns, picked off Riley Leonard once, and they had picked off Daniel Jones before he left hurt, too. Jags, now with the 6th lowest rate for 2025, held the Colts to 19 points.
Wow, and that's 50-50. Wow, who's got it? And they're ruling it a pick.
If they face Cook, they get a dude who just got buried 6 times on 30 pass attempts.
They just let him free off of the edge. Cook tries to reverse field. There's nowhere else to go.
Jacksonville's pass rush, only 1 sack a week ago, but it was the kind that had the refs doing the walk like an Egyptian dance, and it was at the hands of Josh Hines Allen, who has a sack in 4 straight games.
You'd have to freeze frame it to see. It is out of his hand when the knee hits.
Jaguars DBs did give up 79 yards and 80 yards to Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce. Don't face a single Jets wide receiver coming in off a 40-plus yard game. Only tight end Mason Taylor cracked the 40 barrier.
All game to get Mason Taylor involved, and they finally give him a target.
John Mechie, 8 targets, 34 yards. Adonai Mitchell, 6 targets, 124-yard catch. And nothing from Breece Hall either, 43 rush yards, 14 carries. Jaguars just held Jonathan Taylor to 3.5 a run, so tough sledding on that front for Hall.
Give it to him. He's stonewalled. He didn't get it.
Jacksonville has 4 losses, 3 of them to teams with above 500 records, and 1 to the Joe Burrow Bengals. They've taken care of all the Jets-like opponents they've faced. New York's 3 wins, all versus sub-500 teams. This is a rubber match between the Jags and Jets. Faced each other last year. We backtracked to their one and only playoff matchup from 1998. 2006, Jets the recipient of that donut showing.
On the day they honored their greatest offensive lineman, the Jaguars' current offensive line cleared the way for a rout of the New York Jets.
Handoff, Fred going over the left side, look at him, first up the middle, touchdown, Jacksonville.
Oh, this is too easy.
I want more. A lot more. I don't even want you to smile. Feel good, but let's get more. Let's go.
The Jaguars responded to their coach's urging, scoring on 4 of their first 5 possessions.
Let's go. Let's mature as a team now. Let's go out and finish people. Learn how to finish people. Let's go.
Thanks to an overpowering defensive effort, the Jets offense never got started. That opportunity would come in the 4th quarter as the Jaguars preserved their 2nd shutout of the season with a late goal line stand.
Leon Washington doesn't get in. He doesn't get in. He was down at the 1.
Carolina Panthers hit the road this week coming off their bye, brimming with confidence, tied up with Tampa Bay for the division lead thanks to their hosts, the New Orleans Saints, apparently the most dangerous 3-win foe an NFC South team can meet up with late in the year.
So Wadden got it, but he was just that close to the first down, but shy by the length of a football, and it goes back to the New Orleans Saints.
The Saints, saving their best ball for their rivals, I guess, come up with win number 3 last week versus the Bucs, win number 2 back in week 10 against the Panthers, 17-7. Bryce Young, no touchdowns, a pick, just 124 yards. Tyler Shuck, his best game as a pro so far, 2 TDs, 280 plus yards, a 128 rate.
Shuck has a moment, goes deep down the sideline, and the catch is made, and taking it in is Chris Olave.
Shuck doesn't come in off as strong a game throwing the ball, only 144 yards last week, no touchdowns, a pick in their upset win.
Long, nobody home, easy pick right there, McCullum. Get up, you haven't been touched.
Only one Saints pass catcher with 40 yards last week, Devon Vele with 40, Chris Olave 30, Juwan Johnson 38. It was sloppy out there, and Shuck has been good for 235 plus yards his previous 3 games, so he's been piling up big yards most starts, and last week he scored twice on the ground, 55 rush yards, leading the offense to 24 points, the most New Orleans has scored with Shuck behind center, and an explosion for a team that was averaging 15 points a game before last week.
Here he's going low.
Over the pylon easily.
That's easy in there.
Now the rematch with the Panthers secondary, which has been the strength of their defense in plenty of games, though not versus Shuck. They have a healthy INT total, which has covered up for their defense's poor play on 3rd down and in the red zone, but overall still holding teams to 22 a game.
Into a tight window to Nakua, picked off by Mike Jackson, and Jackson gets the block to take it home.
Shuck isn't facing the fiercest of pass rushes. Flash 100-yard dash has hurried more signal callers in 2025. Myles Garrett has more sacks than their entire team. But Shuck has taken 3 to 5 sacks his last 3 outings, taking 3 on just 20 pass attempts last week.
Shuck to the air. Here they come. Down he goes.
And it was Carolina's pass rush that sealed it versus LA. One of 3 takeaways they had versus the Rams, picked off Matthew Stafford twice, holding quarterbacks to an 87 rate, top 10 good.
Batted in the air, it's picked off into the hands of the former LA Rams.
Carolina's front will likely get Devin Neal on handoffs. Panthers giving up 4.5 a run to ball carriers, a little high. Neal only 3.7 to jaunt versus Tampa, but put up a season-high 70 yards and he scored.
He's not down on the ground, and the ball breaks the plane.
That is his first NFL touchdown.
Their offense wasn't the big earner in the end last week. Just like in round 1 of Carolina New Orleans, it was the Saints' defense showing out that really tilted things in their favor. All 3 of their wins this season, they've held the opposition to less than 21 points, held Tampa Bay to 20, 3 for 13 on 3rd down.
Driving, breaking, throwing. It was caught, no, out of bounds.
Didn't sack Baker Mayfield once, yet still held him to 122 yards on 14 of 30 passing, just 4.1 yards per attempt, a 55 rating picked him off.
Mayfield, it's intercepted on the play by Taylor. He's getting blocking, and down goes Taylor.
They've held the last 4 quarterbacks they've faced to less than 185 yards, Bryce Young being one of them. He averages less than 200 yards per game. Just cracked it versus the Rams, but he hit them with 3 TD passes, no picks, a career best 147 rate.
Millen got it! Touchdown! Panthers lead!
So he and the offense hoping to carry that momentum over. It was one of Young's 3 100-plus rate games this year, but he's followed up his previous 2 with sub-90 rate games. Carolina's offense has put up 30 to 31 points in 4 games, followed the previous 3 with 13, 13, and 9-point outings.
Young is going to be sacked back at the 10-yard line.
So, hoping to put together a Godfather-type sequel, can't afford to go Dumb and Dumber 2 again. Young has taken 1 to 2 sacks in 6 of his last 7 games. Getting caught in the backfield, not a major issue for him this year. Tedaroa McMillan, go-to, 826 yards, 6 TDs, is on a 3-game scoring streak.
Over the top, and McMillan, who does not have a catch today, comes up with as big a play in this game as you can.
Jalen Coker, only 7 games played, had his best go of it in that Rams game with 71 yards and a touchdown.
Trying to plug that up, so one-on-one opportunity. It's caught by Coker for the touchdown.
Xavier Legette, 26 yards per game. Saints DBs held every Bucs pass catcher save 1 to fewer than 30 yards last week, gave up 55 to Chris Godwin. Did give up a 24-yard TD reception to Bucky Irving, but held him to 3.7 a carry. Gave up 4.8 per try to Rashad White, though. Big picture, tougher than average to run on. Held Rico Dowdle to 2.9 a carry when they faced him. Dowdle had those 3 monster games versus Miami, Dallas, and Green Bay, averaging over 70 yards per game because of them.
Oh, it's Dowdle. There's his best run of the day. And into Rams territory.
Hasn't topped 60 rush yards in 4 straight games. Hubbard had his best game of 2025 versus LA with 83 yards, boosted his season average to 39 a game.
Hubbard, big hole, there he goes! Big play, Chuba Hubbard touchdown!
Rewound to 2008 a few weeks ago to revisit that 33-31 Carolina shootout win. This time, let's go back further, 1995, for the first ever Panthers-Saints game.
If we win or lose, baby, we're going to play 4 full quarters. That's the way football is, baby. That's what it's all about.
The following week against the Saints, Coach Capers continued to preach the gospel of defense. And the Panthers played their best 4 quarters of the season. Carolina intercepted 3 consecutive Saint passes. And for the second straight week, the Panther defense did not allow a touchdown.
Over the middle, intercepted! It's Bubba McDowell! Unbelievable!
As it had been for weeks, the offense was efficient and reliable. Carolina had established a true home field advantage, but in order to make expansion history, they would have to go on the road.
Arizona Cardinals flutter off to Houston this week. Weren't even able to scare the Rams as they lost their 5th straight. They get a Texans squad stampeding their way up the charts, having won 5 straight, and have a pretty nice road ahead if they don't slip up.
And the Houston Texans have come to Kansas City to win their 5th consecutive game.
Texans at 8-5, they've climbed back into the playoff picture, good enough for the 7 seed right now, game behind Jacksonville in the division race. Get Arizona and Vegas at home, on the road versus the Chargers, back home for an Indiana Jones-less Colts squad. 12 wins is definitely on the table, especially with that defense.
22. First look covered. Here come the Texans on the rush. They get Mahomes.
Everything that makes them so dominant this year was on display last week in the beatdown of the mighty Mahomes. Held them to 10 points, 4 for 14 on 3rd down. They're number 1 in scoring, number 2 on 3rd down, number 1 in rating allowed, picked off Mahomes 3 times, no TDs given up.
Kelsey had his hands on it and basically hands it back to Alshire.
Pass rush pressured Mahomes, a hefty 42% of his dropbacks, dropped him twice.
Autry with the interior push sets up a field goal attempt for KC.
And not easy to run on, held both Kansas City's running backs under 3.5 yards per carry. Did give up 59 rushing yards to Mahomes, 8.4 a clip. Jacoby Brissett led Arizona's offense in rushing yards last week with 22 yards. Bam Knight just 16 yards on 7 attempts. That's not their thing anyway. Brissett is out there to air it out. Does he take sacks? Sure, 3 more last week.
Pressure steps up, wrapped up by Cam Curl.
He's going to take his sacks because he's out there chucking it. 44 pass attempts last week. That's 5 straight games he's had 40-plus pass attempts. 271 yards, 2 TDs versus the Rams.
Brissett to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Wilson.
8 games played, minimum of 258 yards. It's not always pretty or clean, but it's entertaining. Hasn't led to as many points as you'd expect. 17 points back-to-back weeks.
Jalen McCulley puts him on his butt wide open, and because Jacoby Brissett was running forward, that's why he overthrew it, but you tell him I had you.
Michael Wilson has been a monster for them in recent games. 142 yards and 2 TDs a week ago. That his third 100-plus yard game in his last 4.
Brissett on second down, fires, caught, touchdown!
Each game has come with Marvin Harrison out hurt. Trey McBride inched closer to a 1,000-yard season with 58 more last week.
From the Rams 37, the fake to Knight, and it is caught.
Only 2 guys that had more than 40 yards, kinda standard unless Harrison plays. Also kinda standard for Zona's defense to give up a lot of points lately. 45 last week, third 40-plus point game allowed in their last 5, 27 in one of the others. Gave up 3 touchdowns to Matthew Stafford, didn't pick him off, 280-plus yards for a 131 rate, didn't sack him once.
Now Stafford fires downfield, Nakua, touchdown!
They represent opportunity for C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense then. 20 points back-to-back weeks, fewer than 24 and 4 straight. Stroud sacked 3 times by Kansas City, who don't have a lot of sacks. Only 15 of 31 passing for 203 yards and an 80 rating.
Stroud fires, down the field, incomplete.
Nico Collins, their one big offensive star last week, 121 yards, only Texan with 40-plus.
Wilson Stroud flips it on the run. Nico Collins has it, taking off, getting a block. Collins inside the 20.
Nico with 90 yards in 4 of his last 5 games. Arizona's DBs giving up 167 yards to Puka Nakua, so Collins is lined up to keep it rolling. Cardinals also gave up big yards to the Rams' rush attack, 249 yards, most to Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. Woody Marks, 26 attempts last week, 68 yards.
Marks running right, looking for a crease. Woody Marks, first down.
Only 2.6 a run versus Kansas City, under 3.5 in 3 of his last 4, but has at least given them 60-plus yards in 3 straight. It's better than nothing.
They're going to play the run. They're going to come across the line of scrimmage. So they win. Now they got you backed up.
3-3. Texans-Cardinals tied all time. Only one other series with fewer meetings in NFL history. Their first throwdown ever, 2005.
Me personally, I'd rather go with the double fade.
All right, let's do that. This is what Kurt wants. He feels good about it.
Warner takes the shotgun snap, drops the throw, being pressured, steps up. Warner waits, fires back in the end zone. Touchdown! Larry Fitzgerald! Yes! Warner looking, end zone, left side. Fitzgerald caught it, and he's in!
There you go. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thanks for giving me a shot, Coach. Thank you.
The Texans stormed back to tie the game at 21.
Somebody make a play.
Shaw, 5-step, straight drop, fires, right side, picked off. Rodgers Camardi got it at the 40. Goodbye! 10-5, touchdown! Cardinals retake the lead.
To make Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie's go-ahead touchdown hold up, the Cards had to mount a last-ditch goal line stand.
Here we go, 4th and goal at the 1. 47 seconds left. This is the ball game. 28-21, Cardinals lead. Cardinals stop them, they get the win. Texans score, we might be headed for overtime.
One more, D. Just get this, and it's over.
Schaub takes, handoff, Slayton up the middle, dives. I don't think he got it. No signal yet. Texans are saying touchdown. And the officials are saying Cardinal ball.
No way.
They stop him on 4th down.
Yeah! No way! Are you kidding me, Gabe Watson? The black hole at the bottom of that pile with Darnell Dawkins? They stopped him. I don't believe it.
3 chances from the 1 for the Texans, and they can't get it in.
Minnesota Vikings are traveling men this week. They are headed to Dallas after serving up a donut to another NFC East offense.
Is Javon Hargrave who comes out with it. It is going to be ruled as a fumble.
The Cowboys in bounce-back mode declared after they beat Kansas City on Turkey Day they'd play anyone, anywhere. Didn't say they'd win against anyone, anywhere, I suppose.
Give it to him to the outside. Blocking. And into the end zone he goes.
Boys face an uphill climb, and Billy the Butcher isn't around to save the day this time, and CeeDee Lamb might not be either. He dropped over 100 yards versus the Lions before leaving with a concussion. Dak Prescott didn't fare as well without him, left the Motor City after being intercepted twice, enters this week off a sub-80 rate game as a result.
Prescott airing it out deep downfield. And Pickens was there but covered.
And now he gets a blitz-happy Vikings defense whose secondary just held a Marcus Mariota, Jaden Daniels combo meal to 108 yards to 0 touchdowns while picking off each guy once.
And this Minnesota defense has imposed its will in this contest.
That's back-to-back dominant showings against the pass, held the duo to a minuscule 24 rating after shutting down Sam Darnold and JSN the week prior. Cowboys catching their defense, playing as well as it has all year, shut out the Commanders, have held the last 4 offenses faced under 24 points.
That ball clearly out and recovered inbounds. Hargrave, look what I found.
Minnesota's secondary gave up 41 yards to Terry McLaurin, held everyone else under 30. Prescott still threw for 376 yards. Dallas put up 30 points. They've gone for 24-plus points, 4 straight, so the offensive engine is still humming.
Now you got a 63-yard attempt by Brandon Aubrey. Good.
Still, 6 for 15 on 3rd down, 1 for 3 in the red zone. They have areas to clean up, like their pass protection. Dak was dropped a season-high 5 times.
Prescott running for his life. Down he goes at the 23-yard line.
The Prescott to Pickens connection needs some work, too. George with 9 targets, less than 40 yards to show for them. When Lamb left, Ryan Flanoy stepped up. Makes you wonder what kind of game Lamb would have had. Flanoy ended up leading the team with 13 targets, caught 9 of them for a season-high 115 yards and a touchdown.
Prescott throwing wide open, and into the end zone is Flanoy.
Jake Ferguson, 58 yards, 15 over his season average.
Caught to the 40-yard line goes Jake Ferguson.
Javonte Williams ran for 67 yards and a score.
Give it to him. And into the end zone he goes.
Only 3.9 per run. That's back-to-back weeks he hasn't cracked 4. Vikings, typically tough to run on. Not so much last week. Gave up over 5 a carry to Chris Rodriguez, over 4.5 to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
It's a nice run by the rookie. Krosky-Merritt will get close to the sticks.
Skull Nation not worried about their run defense, though. They're more interested in whether J.J. McCarthy can keep it rolling. Returned from his concussion, looked as good as he has all year. Not a ton of yards, but no picks. First time he's left a game without one. 3 touchdowns, a season best 129 rate.
Finds Oliver for a 2-touchdown day.
Vikings offense rebounded from its own Zilchberger to score 31 points.
Quick strike, Hawkinson stays on his feet, touchdown.
4 for 4 in the red zone, a big turnaround for an offense that hadn't scored 20 points the previous 4 times out. But maybe they can string something together against the Dallas Cowboys. They were back versus Detroit, the real culprit behind Dallas's Week 14 14 loss, and most of their losses this year. The post-Quinnen Williams-Logan Wilson trades Cowboy defense started out looking good, have given up 28 and 44 points last two contests.
To the end zone, open touchdown! Isaac the Slaw.
They only sacked Goff once on 34 pass attempts. McCarthy took 4 sacks on 23 pass attempts. 5th game he's been dropped 3+ times in 7 outings.
Stays on his feet, spins ahead, still pushing, and they'll whistle it dead.
McCarthy gets a secondary that gave up over 300 yards to Jared Goff, a 111 rate, no picks, orange slices all around.
Goff has time. Goff fires. Has the open man, Jamison Williams.
Dallas's DBs gave up 90+ yards to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams. Tight ends TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver caught McCarthy's touchdowns, only 36 yards combined. Justin Jefferson, the last 2 games, 4 yards, then 12 last week. That's crazy. Jalen Naylor, 30 yards. Jordan Addison led the team with 62.
McCarthy, deep out route for Jordan Addison.
Cowboys defense also gave up 77 receiving yards to Jahmyr Gibbs, held him to 3.6 a run at least. Also gave up 3 touchdowns on the ground to him, 1 more to David Montgomery, so wasn't a stellar night versus the run either.
Montgomery breaking tackles. Inside the 10, he goes to the end zone for the touchdown.
Vikings rush attack central to their win over Washington. Jordan Mason, 52 yards, 4.7 a carry, a TD.
And Mason goes the other way. Misdirection touchdown, Minnesota.
And Aaron Jones, 76 yards on 5-4 a pop.
Aaron Jones busts through, stays on his feet, and works inside the 20-yard line.
Cowboys-Vikings haven't played a ton of games, but man, how about 7 playoff meetings? Have met in every round, save the last one, of course. 2 conference round battles. Let's revisit their second from the 1977 season.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Texas Stadium in Irving for today's National Football Conference Championship encounter between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings.
Golden Richard's touchdown on the Cowboys' second play from scrimmage gave them a lead they never lost. They were confident of victory.
Hit him, Google! Hit him!
Roger awaiting the snap, takes it. Inside handoff, Dorsett, right side. 10, 5. Touchdown! New Orleans, here we come.
The Cowboys won 23-6. And at this moment in time, they appeared to be a team of destiny, not to mention opportunity or insanity.
Miami Dolphins keeping hope alive. What else does Mike McDaniel have to do? They've won 4 straight games to pull within 1 game of the 500 mark.
Little fade pass, and net is picked. And another takeaway for Miami.
Now they try and make it 5 straight against a Steelers squad that just got back over the 500 mark, took back over first place in the AFC North when they did it.
They're running after him, and they get to him. They end the game with a sack.
This makes for a sneaky good, sneaky important Monday Night Football affair. Aaron Rodgers coming in off a season-high 284 yards, 8.4 per attempt, no INTs, 1 TD for a nice 103 rating day, all versus Tom's favorite team.
He's going deep. They have not had a deep ball in a month, and they connect for 55 yards.
Poor Tom probably had to silence his cell phone all week after Pittsburgh dialed up 27 points on the Ravens.
Fake it to him. Rodgers still has it. He's going to take off running for the touchdown.
Real ones know Tom. though he needs to man up and start his own Ravens YouTube page. That's 25-plus points in 6 of Pittsburgh's last 8 games, so most weeks they're finding their way to enough points to win. Keeping that mojo going won't be easy versus a Miami defense that hasn't allowed 18 points in 4 straight games after holding the Jets to 3 points.
It's a big 3rd and 4 here for the Jets. Deflected in the air. Was that picked?
They held New York to 1 for 12 on 3rd down. They knocked Tyrod Taylor out of the game. Didn't let Brady Cook look like the famous Brady, more like Greg or Peter. Held him to 163 yards, picked him off twice for a meager 35 rating.
Cook towards the end zone, and it is picked. And this miserable nightmare start for the Jets continues.
What do I know? Maybe Greg or Peter were quarterback ones in high school. Cook, of course, no Rodgers, and reminder, Aaron is looking at a secondary that has not played the pass well in 2025, but they could get after him with their pass rush that's feeling relaxed after sharing a Cook sixer. Chop Robinson slammed one down, Zach Sealer 2.5, so someone needs to drive him in.
Feeling the pocket collapse, and he goes down again.
Finn's DBs didn't have any trouble with any receivers of New York's, but none are on the level of DK though. Metcalf stomps in off a season-high 148 yards, a season-high 12 targets.
Rodgers buying time, now planning and throwing and finding Metcalf at the 30.
And Jaylen Warren with a 38-yard air touchdown, 49 yards receiving, made up for a quiet day as a runner.
Dump it off. Got it. Got the first down. Warren gonna go untouched.
Warren hasn't cracked 4 yards per carry in 3 straight games. Dolphins defense just held Breece Hall to 43 yards, 3.1 per attempt. That was a much better showing against the run compared to others. Miami's own rush attack, though, represents a much bigger puzzle piece when they have the ball. 160-plus rush yards in each game of their 4-game win streak, 239 yards versus the Jets, which led to 34 points.
Achane spinning his way into the second level. He breaks free.
Didn't even slow them down to lose Devon Achane to injury. Hurt his rib. He still could play this week. Hopefully he does, because he's been on a tear. 90-plus yards in each game of the win streak. Would have made it 100-plus in each, being he left after 92 yards on just 7 carries. He scored.
Boy, the lethality in his legs give him some open space. Very few players more dangerous.
Jalen Wright stepped in, picked up where Achane left off, and ran for 107 yards on 4.5 a run. Also found pay dirt.
And off here, in. It's right for the Miami touchdown.
They get a Steelers defense that's average versus running backs in 2025. Held Derrick Henry under 4 a carry in last week's win, but gave up a 55-yard run and 76 yards to Keaton Mitchell. Gave up over 210 rush yards when it was all over.
Mitchell makes a nice cut to pick up the first, and he's off and running.
Lamar ran for a touchdown and 43 of those yards. They won't have to worry about a quarterback taking off much this week. And despite all those yards they gave up down low, they held Baltimore to 22 points, held Jackson to 1 touchdown pass, 6.3 per attempt, a 71 rate by picking him off once.
It's around, now just tosses it, it's picked off. Did not have enough air under it.
They've only given up more than 205 passing yards once in their last 5. Their DBs held every Ravens pass catcher save one under 26 yards. Did give up 124 yards to Zay Flowers. Now Miami's old buddy gets to see what it's like to chase the Penguin around. Jalen Waddle scored last week with 50 yards.
Tua fakes, Tua hit on the release, and they're going to make a touchdown nonetheless.
Tight end Greg Dulcich chipped in 41 yards too, the only other Miami receiver to go for more than 15 yards versus the Jets. Tua Tagovailoa just 127 yards passing, no picks, a 94 rating, only sacked once on 21 pass attempts.
Looking for some answers, Tagovailoa throws across his body, Dulcich again.
He remains hard to sack because he doesn't hold the ball long. Just 2.6 seconds on average from snap to throw. No one gets rid of it faster. TJ Watt didn't bag Lamar once, only 1 sack in his last 4 games. They got Alex Highsmith back from injury. He nabbed one of their 2 Jackson sacks. But as far as playing quick draw passes, Pittsburgh holding quarterbacks to a 94 rating on throws made in 2.5 seconds or less, that's top 10 good.
He's going deep. On the sideline, Hopkins
out of bounds.
Miami trails Pittsburgh by 1 all-time, 15-14. 4 playoff face-offs, 2 battles to see who would play in the bowl, the first in 1979.
In the opening round of the playoffs, Pittsburgh's pass catchers ran away from the Miami Dolphins. The Steelers scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions to advance to the AFC Championship game.
First of all, to take our Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl.